What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So I have a trailer in the garage that I need to do some wiring on this afternoon, and I didn't get any of the actual wiring on video. I rewired the whole trailer, but I need to just make some final adjustments to it. And I figured since I didn't get any of the actual footage, we can go over how to wire trailer lights, just kind of doing the screen share thing. So I'm going to go over your general 4-way. I'm going to go over a 7-pin. And then I'm actually going to pull up a wiring diagram for my truck. So just kind of follow along, and then we'll move on to the garage, and I'll show you the real-world application. Starting off with, this is your general 4-wire trailer. So these are, just utility trailers, smaller flatbeds, just that kind of stuff. Your general, just around the home trailer. And it has 4 wires. So as you can see down here, you've got your green and yellow, which are your turn signals, your brown are your tail lights, and your white is your ground. So this 4-pin plug is pretty common. It's one of the most standard plugs there is. A lot of newer trucks even have a 4-pin inlet. So starting from top to bottom on the plug here, this white wire here is just a ground, so it goes right to the trailer. And then all of your lights that you have on the trailer will also get grounded to the trailer. So this diagram doesn't show it, but you have your white here, and then each of these is also going to be grounded into the trailer. And then that's how they're connected. They're connected through the trailer frame, much like a ground on a truck. And that's actually what happens is this plug right here, this ground inlet actually gets plugged into a ground circuit on the truck. And so that the trailer grounds go to the truck grounds, and everything's grounded together for your lights. Your next one here is your green. And so green is your right turn / brakes. So it's your turn signal when you have your turn signal on, and then it's also your brakes. They usually have dual filament bulbs in them. So they will do both at the same time, and you can see that this would be your right turn, so your passenger side, and it will go from the connector to your right turn signal, and it will connect along the way to any lights that you want to blink with your right turn signal. So if this red light here, you wanted this to blink with your right turn signal, you would just connect the green wire to it and then keep it going through the circuit. Your next is your running lights. So these are also known as tail lights, is what this diagram has them called. But these are any kind of marker lights, or just, when it's dark out, you just have your running lights on. So if you look, it'll go from the connector, and then it splits into 2 separate wires for each of the lights. So any light on this circuit will come on when you have like your running lights on in your truck. Most fog lights will turn on in your truck. And so these are all connected into one circuit. So if you actually look at your harness, it may seem like there's 5 wires because, if you just count them, it's ground, green, 2 browns, and then a yellow. But these get connected pretty close to the connector, and I'll show you what I mean by that when we actually get into the garage. Your 4th one is your left turn, similar to your right turn, and this would be your driver's side. So it just connects to any lights that you want to turn or you want to turn on when you turn your left turn signal on. So this is your general 4-way trailer wiring. Great, now that we've covered 4-pin, we can move on to 7-pin. So there are a few renditions of 7-pin trailer wiring. This traditional RV is one of the most commonly used variants, and all it is the diagrams that are different. So if you see here that this is yellow, yellow means reverse lights. On this one up here, this is a 7-pin trailer wiring diagram for SAE. Gray is reverse lights, but it's still this middle pin. So stuff rarely ever actually changes location. It might just be color. So we'll use the traditional RV for our demonstration here, but there are other ones. We're just going to go through what each of these things are. So you still have your left turn, right turn, tail lights, and ground like you did with your 4-pin. What the 7-pin adds is it adds your electric brakes. A lot of larger trailers have electric brakes, so you're not stopping the trailer with the full weight to the trailer with just your vehicle. You get your black 12-volt, so this is just auxiliary power for anything on the trailer that needs its own power. 12-volt hot all the time. So like if you have a light switch in your trailer, that's what that's for. And then you get reverse lights. So a lot of larger trailers have their own reverse lights. So we're just going to go through these in order, and I'll just give a quick overview of them, and then we'll look at a wiring diagram for my truck so you can see the other end of the plug. So this black wire here, this is our auxiliary, so a lot of times there's just a box you can plug stuff into, or there's not always a box like this. Sometimes it's just actually wired into the actual appliances in the trailer. Like I said, lights is a good example of that. You have your ground. So just like the ground in the 4-pin trailer, the trailer is grounded, and then everything, all the electrical equipment, lights, everything else on the trailer is grounded to the frame as well. And then that ground goes right to the truck ground, and it's powered off of the vehicle. This brown wire here is right turn brakes, so it's similar to the 4-pin. You just have your right turn and taillights. Green is taillights. I often refer to these as running lights, so I use the two pretty interchangeably throughout this. But this is just your nighttime running lights. They are on with your running lights. Fog lights will turn them on. If your headlights are on, a lot of newer trucks will just turn them on anyways. But it's just the all the time running lights for the trailer. Yellow is going to be your reverse lights. So this will go back to your reverse lights here. Red is your left turn brakes in this diagram, so much like you had right turn, your left turn, and then blue is your electric trailer brakes. Okay. Moving on, this is a wiring diagram for my 2003 Tahoe. So this will be the same for any NBS truck, Silverado, Yukon, Suburban, all of those. This is actual wiring diagram from GM for the trailer plug. So this is the truck side of the plug. This is the trailer side of the plug. So moving back, what you'll see is these wires are colored. So light green, black, dark blue, dark green, red. But the color almost doesn't matter as long as you make sure that the function lines up. So like I said, trailer backup lamp supply voltage. So A is a light green wire. It's this middle plug right here. And that's good because backup lights is also this middle plug here on the trailer. So this is yellow on the diagram, but it's backup lights. This is light green on the truck, but it's still backup lights. And then you have your ground, trailer auxiliary supply voltage. So this is just your 12 volt for power and stuff all the time. You have your right rear turn stop, your left rear turn stop, trailer park lamps, so that's what they call running lights, and then battery positive voltage. So I'll just kind of throw this up on the screen for you. There's your list of connectors, and then there's how it works with the diagram. So we went over the different types of trailer wiring in the house, and now we're going to get a real world example of that. So I have this 10-foot flatbed. Just a nice little utility trailer we keep around the house. And I live in the Salt Belt. So the stock trailer wiring lasts about 30 seconds because they use these little T connectors that aren't waterproof, and the salt gets them in, and a couple of this trailer's 3 years old, and it already needed new wiring. So I rewired the whole thing, and then I have all this slack for the actual pin. So I'm gonna cut that down in a different video, but just figured I'd show you guys what's going on here. So sit back down here. So this is your traditional 4-pin. So like we talked about in the house, you got your white, which is your ground. You got your two browns. So these are two brown wires that go into the same pin. So this pin right here. And then you got your yellow right here. This is your driver's side turn signal and brake. And you got your green here, which is your passenger side turn signal and brake. So this is just your traditional 4-pin, just like I showed you in the house, just a good example of the wiring diagram. Okay, now that we've gone over the pin, I'm just going to show you how this is actually implemented. So let's follow the white wire. So the white wire here, I have it screwed on the inside of this. So that's actually the ground there. So if you actually look, that's where the white wire, focus. That's where your white wire ends, right there. So it's just grounded into the frame. I just put a bolt in there, so it's grounded into the trailer frame, and then all of the lights will also be grounded into the trailer frame. So I'll show you an example of that. So this running light here, this is going to be brown, and then the ground. So you can see, if I get you up under there, that the ground is actually right there. So that's the ground right there. And what I do is I'll clean up the surface underneath with a wire brush, put the ground on, and then paint over it so it doesn't corrode. And all of the wires, so that light, the backlight over there, and the running light on that side are all bolted to the trailers in a similar fashion. Alright, so now we're going to go over some 7-pin wiring. So I have this 7-pin connector. This is actually off my 2003 Tahoe, so this will be the same for all the MBS trucks. It has a cover that I took off, and the reason I had to change this is because it's all corroded back here. And the wire, see that green? And the wires itself were actually corroded, so I ended up, I had to put a new one on and cut the harness up. But so this will be the truck for today's demonstration. And then we have 7-pin trailers laying around, but it's also 4 degrees outside, so this will serve as our trailer wiring. This is actually a tester for wiring. So you see it's got your 4-pin on this side and your 7-pin on that side. And what it'll do is you plug it into the vehicle. So you can plug it into the vehicle's 4-pin or 7-pin slot. And then when you activate something, like if you turn on your left turn signal, that light will blink. And it's the test vehicle wiring is what it's for. So it's got your left turn, tail marker lights, which is your running lights, right turn. It's got your 12-volt power all time, trailer brakes, and then your backup lights. And then you'll notice there's no 7, there's not a 7th light. That's because your ground is just, it's a power and ground for everything to be turned on. So if these work, you have a good ground. So this is the truck. This is the trailer. You'll notice there's a slot. There's a slot on the top of here, and then there's a little divot on the top of here. So those will plug in together. And then this is how 7-pin trailer wiring works. So there you go. That's it for our trailer wiring demonstration. If you've got any specific questions, throw them in the comments below and I'll try to get to them. Thanks again for watching. If this video was helpful for you, please like and subscribe to the channel. We do lots of DIY stuff around the house and around the garage. And again, comment if you've got questions or comment if there's things you'd like to see in future videos. Thanks and have a good day.